Welcome back to one of the Bears Probably Plays YouTube channel. Today is Wednesday, December 4th. Good morning. And I'm back breaking down some college basketball. We've got the best slate of the year on the docket tonight. It's going to be, what do they call it? Challenge week? Conference challenge week. Just the top conferences in the NCAA going head to head. We have 4 top 25 battles today. I nearly called them to work. I won't lie. I nearly said I'm not coming in, but I'm not going to do that. But we got a couple games to break down, 4 in total, 2-player props. Before that, let's take a look at last night's plays. Villanova played well. Villanova did play well, had a 1-2 day. We had Cincinnati minus 3.5. Cincinnati looked like they were going to come out in the second half and dominate, but Eric Dixon's too much. Villanova actually played defense for the first time all season long. They won. I think Dixon finished with 30-plus points. He had over half of Cincinnati's total points. It's not fair. It's an NBA player playing with college players. That's what it is. So I'm sure he's going to win Villanova a few more games. But Villanova as a team, I am still sold that they are not a very good team. Kentucky money line did not stay up to watch the entire game. Went to bed at halftime, 37-30 at half. They did end up losing by 2 points, I believe. Good for Clemson. Kentucky's a good team. Clemson played well, I guess. They did play well in the first half, making some shots, playing good defense. The Jizzle James play did cash over 14.5 points. I think he finished close to 20. And then, my bad again, Kobe Bree, he's a bench player. I don't think you can take bench players. I've said that before, but I just didn't do it. Didn't find him on DraftKings or FanDuel. Didn't find him on PrizePicks as well. So if you did find a way to bet him, I will take the loss for it. He only scored 3 points, played 17 minutes. But again, we don't take picks, or we don't put picks up here that we don't bet. So 1-2 day. One game below 500 now. So we've got to try to do a little bit better. And we have a monster slate of games, and I'm very excited for these games. We are going to go a little bit quicker. Like I said, these are some of the best teams in the Big 12, Big 10, SEC, ACC, all of the power conferences going head-to-head all week long. One of the better weeks of college basketball, I'd say. We're going to be looking at a top 25 matchup in basically every game. Kansas is going to be on the member side going up against Creighton, but I am going to try to go a little bit quicker. Also, we have all these games at home for the team on the right. So I would say home court advantage is the best home field environment in any sport. Yeah, I'm confident in saying that. College basketball has the best home field environment, and it has the best advantage out of any sport. Is college basketball. You go to Allen Fieldhouse, it's literally like having a jet engine in your ear the entire game. So I do think home court plays a massive, massive advantage in all these games. But we're going to start with Marquette going up against Iowa State. First, both these teams are basically the same. Both these teams are going to be good all season long, and both of these teams have cracked the top 5 already this year. Iowa State sitting at 6, Marquette sitting at 5. Iowa State's played a couple good teams, including Auburn, Dayton, losing to Auburn by 2 points, beating Dayton by 5 points. Marquette, though, has played a couple good teams themselves, including Maryland, winning that by 4. They played the number 6 ranked Purdue team at the time, winning that game by 18, and then they beat Georgia by 11. We have similar teams playing similar talented teams. Both of these guys are neck and neck right there with each other. I expect a great game here. But again, this is going to be in Ames. It's going to be at Iowa State. And that is going to make them probably win this game outright. I do think Marquette could win this game, but I'm going to take the plus 6.5 just to be safe. We're going to take them against the spread. Iowa State at home. It's a very good environment. Both these teams, though, they do like to play defense. Iowa State really hasn't shown it over the last couple of games. They've given up 80-plus points in 2 of the last 3 and 71 to Colorado. Marquette's been fantastic defensively all season long, and you need to play defense on the road. Defense needs to travel in these big games. The most points Marquette's given up all season long, 74. 74 to Maryland. They kept every other opponent under 70 points on the year. That's why they're 8-0 so far. They have veteran leadership. They have many players from last season coming back. The chemistry is good, and they have Cam Jones, leading scorer from last year. That's literally everything you need to go on the road and beat a top 5 team like Iowa State. Because of the home court advantage, though, I will give the nod to Iowa State. I don't think Marquette's going to get blown out in this game, though. So I'm going to take them plus 6.5 as the first play. Next play, we're going to be looking at another undefeated team in Auburn going up against Duke. Auburn, very good team. Duke, pretty good team. Duke's had a lot of opportunities to pull out the win, but they have not been able to do it in a couple tight games. I'm going to take Auburn here, plus 1.5 as the play. I know I could take them on the money line, but these teams are very good. Getting a point could be everything in these games. If you had a gun to my head, I'd probably say Auburn would win this game outright, but because we're going to be at Duke, I'm going to take Auburn with the points. Duke has found themselves inside the top 10. They're getting very good play from the guards this season. They don't have a ton of size down low. And if Proctor doesn't match the productivity of Cooper Flagg, it's pretty hard for Duke to find some points. Duke also has Con Nepple, the freshman guard, who is scoring 13.4 points per game. But Duke has already lost a couple tests this season. They lost to Kentucky. They lost to Kansas. The only one against a top 25 team this season is against Arizona. This Auburn team, on the other hand, they've been an absolute wagon. They beat number 4 Houston. They beat number 5 Iowa State. They beat number 12 North Carolina. Then they have a good win over Memphis. This is a team who is rolling. They're clicking in all cylinders. They're scoring a bunch of points. They're playing good defense. I do think Auburn has potential to win this game outright. But like I said, home court advantage in college basketball is everything. I will respect home court. I'm going to take Auburn with the points plus 1.5 as the play. Next play, we're going to be going over to Alabama, going up against North Carolina. I was going to take the over in this game, but we just got some news, and this is why I decided to start recording in the morning, because I found this news out at 7 p.m. last night. If I would have done my previous recording at night, I would have recorded before this and would have been really bad. But Alabama senior guard, he's scoring double-digit points per game, Latrell Wrightsell. He is out for the remainder of the season with a torn Achilles. That news broke last night. Alabama is now going to be looking to play big, maybe. They have 2 guards, Sears and Filan. Then we're either going to see Holloway up front, or we're going to see Grant Nelson, Diabate, and Clifford Amari come into the starting lineup. So that is a potential to play 3 big men and 2 guards, or 3 guards and 2 big men. Either way, this hurts Alabama's running gun offense. This is a team that wants to run. This is a team that's great on the fast break. This is a team who's been known to be a great 3-point shooting team. They can obviously still do all those things, but with one of your guards off the floor, one of your better scoring guards off the floor, it throws a wrench into the cycle. And I think North Carolina is going to dominate them with their guard play. North Carolina has maybe the best trio of guards in the NCAA, and they're led by R.J. Davis. This is a team scoring 90 points per game. The defense hasn't been great, but guess what? Alabama doesn't play great defense either. North Carolina is going to be at home, and this is the first time that I really think a home team is going to win the game. Iowa State, they can definitely win, but it's going to be going up against that really tough Marquette team. But this is a North Carolina team that should win this game, especially going up against Alabama after the news. I'm going to take them on the money line for North Carolina. They are currently minus 1.5. I was going to take the over. That's what the score indicates. But with that injury to Alabama, I just don't know how efficient they're going to be with Wrightsell out. So I'm going to take North Carolina as the play, minus 1.5. Final play of the day, we're going to be looking at UConn going up against Baylor. UConn's going to be the home team. This is going to be an absolute bloodbath, I think, because I'm not sure if Baylor's that good. UConn got embarrassed in the Maui tournament. They lost 3 consecutive games. Dan came out and said, we're no longer going to be playing in those type of tournaments. I don't blame them. I think UConn is an incredibly good team. They ran up against 3 good teams. They weren't playing very good, and it's really tough to make adjustments just one day. Actually, they didn't have one day. They had 20 hours between those games. So I do understand why he doesn't want to do that, because it's tough to make adjustments whenever you're losing games against some good teams. But I don't understand why Baylor is ranked 15th in the nation. I just don't get it. They've played some good teams, and they have some good wins in the season. They have some good players. Jaden Nunn, Jeremy Roach, Norshad Omier, he came over from Miami. I did take a look at the schedule for Baylor. I just don't see it, right? I just don't see it. Baylor, they lost by 40 points to Gonzaga. First game of the year. They bounced back, beat Arkansas, who was a pretty good team at the time. I don't think Arkansas is even ranked now. I don't think they're a very good team at all. They then went to double overtime, going up against St. John's, winning that game by 1 point. They did show a lot of fight, but then they played Tennessee. Tennessee beat them by 15 points. Tennessee's a good team. So they've played 2 good teams, Gonzaga and Tennessee, and they've lost by 15-plus points in both of those. I don't think UConn's a bad team. I think UConn deserves to be a top 10 team. They're ranked 25th in the nation right now because they lost 3 in a row. But this team needs to be treated like a top 10 team because they've won back-to-back championships. I believe in the coaching. I believe in the players. They're going to get back home, and they're going to embarrass Baylor in this game. I'm going to take them minus 2.5 as the final play of the day. Let's go to the player props for tomorrow. We're going to start in that Alabama game, taking R.J. Davis over his total points. And I'll be honest, the problem with R.J. Davis this season has been his shooting percentage. He's still scoring 18 points per game, but he's been below 40% shooting in the majority of his contests. On the season, he's shooting 36.7% from the field. That is the worst on the team by a very wide margin, and it's 10 percentage points lower than the team average. So he definitely needs to start trying to make some more shots. Some of that's due to just not making open shots, but the majority of that is bad shot decision-making. It's just been bad. He gets double-teamed quite a bit unless he's on the fast break or he's taken some deep threes, but he's also been horrendous from a three-point range, only making 27.5% of his shots, the lowest on the team as well. Despite all that, despite all the negative stuff, he's scoring 18.4 points per game. And that's because he does a lot of his damage from the free throw line. And that's why I'm taking him in this game. Eventually, his shot will start to fall. But in the meantime, if he's getting us between 8 and 10 points from the charity stripe, I'm going to take him as a player prop. I do think he's going to shoot better in this game going up against Alabama. Alabama does not play a lot of defense. Alabama's also foul happy. So I'm going to take RJ Davis here as the play over his total points. Next play and final play of the day, we're going to go to UConn going up against Baylor. I'm going to take Alex Caravan to go over his total points against Baylor. This has been the best player for UConn all season long. On this season, he's scoring 15.9 points per game. He's shooting above 50% from the field and 46.8% from deep. He has been a sharpshooter for them all year long. He's coming off his most shots attempted on the season. I think that will continue in this game because Baylor, like I said, I don't know how they're a top 20 or a top 15 team. I understand they beat some top 25 teams, but they don't play defense. They're just like Alabama. They score a bunch of points. They're not worried about the other side of the ball, but they're giving up nearly 50% shooting to opposing teams this year. If you do that going up against UConn, you're going to lose this game by 20 points because UConn, they typically do play defense. Looking at Baylor on the season, they are ranked 179th in total defense. That's just unacceptable. You can't be 179th in defense as a top 25 team. Just like Alabama, unacceptable. You can go back, look at the numbers according to Ken Palm over the last 15 or so years, I believe. The NCAA basketball champion has to be top 40 in both offensive and defensive efficiency. Alabama, Baylor, not there. So they can't win the championship right now. If you don't play defense, eventually it's going to come bite you in the ass. I don't think Baylor's going to play defense, especially from the perimeter. And I'm going to take Alex Caravan to go over his total points as the final play of the day. Let's go to the recap graphic. We have a lot of games, 6 in total. Marquette plus 6.5, Auburn plus 1.5. I think both of those teams have potential to win outright, but I'm going to take the points. UNC outright against Alabama, and then UConn should dominate Baylor minus 2.5. We're going to go RJ Davis over his total points, and then Alex Caravan over his total points going up against Baylor. Guys, that's going to do it for the NCAA basketball picks and props for Wednesday, December 4th slated games. So you guys enjoyed the content, please be sure to drop a like this video and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.